I think expressions are perhaps the most strangest things in the open world. Allow me to talk about it. Why are they weird? Because they confront the way that we model or conceive of the reals and the feels. That is our inner gooey, free flowy, subjective apprehension of the immediate experience and the outside of that. Okay, now it's less annoying to treat the two as separate and also less crazy. But they are connected in some way, right? Now the contrarian dick in the room will seize on the moment to be contrarian and betray their own free will. And they say, "What if free will is an illusion?" Sure, that is the most boring way to tackle this problem, and I will not entertain that today. Now, expressions. Start off with values embedded in your fields. Now you have this direct apprehension of an ongoing reality, and you have a value system that sort of filters out a widespread flux of phenomena and turns the many into one or few. Fewer. There's a filter there. And from that set of values, stuff that enters your mind, stuff that you can frame in a mentally reference, you try to make points. When you communicate, when you express, you take values in the immediate and try to project it out into some place that reifies it or solidifies it or fossilizes it in time, either in another human being's perception or through a medium that you can read it later, God forbid. Now, we have notions of good and beautiful. These are values. And we also have a notion of truth. But in the intersubjective, they often collide. And you can really look at points in history that where there's really cultural strain. It's sort of a bubbling up of conflict that was never properly expressed in a way that would de-inflame different value systems. And if you really look at the weirder, more bizarre phenomena, social phenomena or social tensions, if you look at the O.J. Simpson trial, if you only frame the O.J. Simpson trial as the systematic leveraging of laws against any human being in any environment, you're an idiot. You have to see the full continuum and tension between African Americans in LA and the justice system, let alone O.J. Simpson's personal life. So, and which is, if you look at one of the latest documentaries about it, O.J. Simpson Made in America, it's insane how much more of an understanding you get of that singular event if you see the wider context that created it. And the reason why it's such a insane example is because in communication we want to assume that what we value is the only thing that matters in the apprehension and understanding of that which we want to express. But humans perceive, interpret, and consume information in a context. And a lot of times, before we can begin talking directly about what we want to talk about, we have to address the context, whether it be someone feels wrong, someone doesn't feel heard. There are tensions beyond our value system that are necessary for our values to be expressed, heard, and understood. And that's the hilarious thing about expressions and in the immediate experience. Like, we start in the make belief, we directly feel, we directly relate in this make belief that there is no broader context, and it's only through the naive attempts at talking directly do we realize the wider things that need to be addressed to create or to reinstill a moment of still direct communication with with groups and peoples outside ourselves. Hashtag unbearably profound. Stay engaged. Don't don't drink and drive also.